but I'm making a series called Taco Grows Everything. And in this series, I'm going to, as you guessed, grow everything. From succulents to Venus flytraps to, just like cutting up lettuce and seeing if that sprouts roots, or just cool experiments and tutorial guides on how to propagate and care for all different types of plants. Today's episode will be succulent propagation, mainly by leaf cuttings, because that's all I really have. These are my 5 cuttings from my Mexican ghost plant. It actually wasn't doing too well and it died, so I had to get rid of it, but I pulled off as many little leaves as I could before I threw it out. And they all seem to be growing. I'll just show you the states of which. You just pull it off. Sometimes people use scissors, depends on the plant. But for these, I just tugged it off. I twisted, and it came right off. And then I just put it in a pot of soil. I didn't even put it under the soil. I just put the end of it touching the soil, and they do fine. So I'll just show you the states. So this is just a recent one about a week ago. It's calloused over, but it has not showed any signs of sprouting yet. Now you have this one, which has also calloused over, but it has a little leaf sticking out, as you can see. And there's this one, which has also calloused over and has some strikes, which are little leaf buds, and roots coming out of it. And then there's this one, which has several different leaves and a good sized root coming out of it. This is around the time when you should plant them, a little bit after this. Now what you don't want to do, here are some do's and don'ts. You do want to make sure to give it, you need to give it nutrients. So as soon as it gets big enough that you can plant it, plant it. Another do is get new leaves. This also pairs with the don't, which is pulling off old leaves. Old leaves they still make plants, but they're slower and they produce less. So, for example, these 2 guys were pulled off at the same time, except the bottom one, with all the sprouts and the leaves, is a new leaf, and the top one is an old leaf that was about to die. And another don't, the final don't, is don't cut, or you can cut, it depends on the plant, but don't take it off anywhere in the middle of the base, because it will callus completely over and will not sprout. This one I took at the same time as those others that are sprouting leaves, but I pulled it off so it completely calloused and will never sprout. After this video, I'm going to be discarding this poor little leaf, as it will not give me any baby plantlets. So another thing is, these things are actually really quick. These guys have all been in the same little pot of soil for about a month now, give or take a week, and they're all doing really well. So I might plant them, in a little pot. But yeah, this is a really good way if you not only want direct, exact replicas of the plant that you have, if you want to share its characteristics, but also if you don't feel like getting seed. For varieties that you can't get to flower, or you can't find seeds, or you don't want to use seeds even if you have them, you can always take cuttings because they're faster and, like I said, produce clones of the original plant. So if you had a red plant and you knew it was just red by accident, and that if you planted seeds of it, they would not turn out red, you just got lucky. If you took a cutting of that plant, there's like a 99% chance that that cutting will end up being red because it is exactly the same plant. So, yeah. I just figured I'd give you guys some tips, and I might update these guys once they're, big enough that I can just film them from farther away and I don't have to close up and everything. So, yeah. Bye. See you on the next episode.